Listen carefully. January 4th is not passing time. January 4th arrives with meaning. A date like this does not appear to fill a calendar. It appears to mark arrival. Energy shifts, silence breaks, recognition begins. I am Shi Heng Yi. Years of discipline reveal a truth many overlook. Spiritual messages rarely announce themselves early. They speak after unseen work reaches completion. The word congratulations carries weight because it arrives only after endurance, restraint, and inner victory. No applause followed that process. No witness observed the effort, yet completion still occurred. This video reveals why January 4th carries confirmation rather than delay. You will learn how timing works beyond human clocks. You will understand why patience was required before permission appeared. This date signals that waiting ends and responsibility begins. Something internal reached maturity. That maturity now attracts acknowledgement. Many believe progress needs noise. That belief creates confusion. Real growth forms in quiet pressure. Strength develops where no praise exists. January 4th exposes that hidden face. It confirms alignment between inner discipline and outer movement. This moment validates every step taken without certainty. Stay until the end because the final insight explains how recognition changes direction. Arrival brings duty. Confirmation carries expectation. Those unprepared feel discomfort. Those aligned feel calm. This teaching helps recognize the difference and respond correctly. Lesser-known truths surface today. Timing obeys law, not emotion. Completion precedes reward. Recognition follows endurance. January 4th teaches this order with clarity. Welcome to Shaolin Divine Flow. This channel guides disciplined minds toward higher awareness through ancient wisdom and modern clarity. Join this path. Subscribe and remain connected for teachings that sharpen strength, focus, and inner mastery. Silence is not absence. Silence is instruction. When struggle is loud, divine timing remains quiet, not because nothing is happening, but because everything is forming. Pressure creates shape. Noise breaks focus. That is why the voice you wait for does not speak during chaos. During struggle, the mind seeks relief. The heart seeks answers. But answers given too early weaken growth. When words arrive before strength, dependence replaces discipline. Divine timing understands this law. It withholds explanation until endurance completes its work. Struggle sharpens awareness. Each unanswered moment trains perception. Each delayed response builds internal authority. Silence is not punishment. Silence is refinement. It forces attention inward, where alignment is corrected and intention becomes pure. When guidance speaks too soon, effort stops. Movement becomes emotional instead of intentional. That is why divine timing waits. It waits until reaction settles. It waits until fear loses influence. It waits until persistence proves stability. Silence creates space. In that space, patterns dissolve. Old habits lose grip. False urgency fades. The mind becomes still enough to receive instruction without distortion. Only then can timing speak clearly. Struggle reveals surface strength. Silence builds core strength. One exhausts, the other stabilizes. Divine timing values stability because stability sustains progress long after emotion fades. When the message finally arrives, it arrives without resistance. Confusion no longer blocks clarity. The words land because the foundation can hold them. Timing speaks when the receiver becomes capable, not when the desire becomes intense. That is why breakthrough often feels sudden. It is not sudden, it is precise. The silence prepared the moment. The struggle trained the vessel. When divine timing speaks, it does not shout. It confirms what has already been completed within. Silence ended the fight. Now timing responds. January 4th marks a shift. Few recognize at first. Preparation ends. Permission begins. This moment feels lighter yet stronger. The weight carried for so long no longer presses the same way. Movement becomes smoother because resistance has lost authority. Preparation shapes discipline. Permission activates direction. One trains the spirit, the other releases motion. This date signals that readiness has been confirmed. Nothing more needs proving. The inner work reached completion without announcement. Doors behave differently when permission is granted. They do not open slowly, they respond immediately. Obstacles that once delayed progress lose relevance, not because effort increased, but because alignment is complete. This shift explains sudden clarity. Decisions feel simple, confusion dissolves without struggle. Energy redirects naturally. The path ahead no longer demands constant justification. Confidence replaces explanation. Permission also changes relationships. Some connections fade quietly, others strengthen effortlessly. This is not loss, it is recalibration. Only what supports the next phase remains present. Everything else steps aside. Recognition arrives subtly. Opportunities appear without force. Assistance shows up without request. Timing synchronizes. Small confirmations repeat. These signals indicate approval, not coincidence. This phase requires awareness. Permission does not remove responsibility. It increases it. Movement now carries consequence. Actions shape outcomes faster. Intention matters more. Peace becomes noticeable. Not excitement. Not rush. A steady calm anchors each step. This calm is alignment in motion. It confirms readiness to carry more without collapse. The unseen work is no longer hidden. Its results surface naturally. Progress no longer needs explanation. Presence communicates everything. January 4th seals that transition. Preparation did its job. Discipline held firm. Silence completed its task. Permission now governs movement. The path ahead responds because the foundation beneath it no longer shifts. Quiet power moves without announcement. Spiritual doors do not open with noise because noise seeks attention. Authority needs none. When a door opens decisively, there is no debate, no hesitation, no negotiation, it simply responds. Loud change shocks the mind. Decisive change aligns the spirit. That is why true openings feel calm. No rush follows, no anxiety accompanies the step forward. The path reveals itself through certainty, not excitement. When a door opens decisively, obstacles do not resist. They recognize the shift and step aside. Resistance belongs to preparation. Permission removes it. What once required force now responds to presence. This explains why breakthroughs often feel strangely simple. Complexity fades, effort decreases, progress flows. This is not luck. It is alignment activating response. Decisive openings also redefine boundaries. Old limits lose authority. Fear no longer negotiates. Doubt fades quietly, not because courage increased, but because clarity replaced confusion. Spiritual doors respond to internal state. When inner conflict dissolves, external blockage follows. The door opens because the one approaching it no longer carries hesitation. These openings also test maturity. Noise attracts attention. Silence attracts responsibility. What opens quietly must be handled with care. Stability becomes essential. Ego must remain absent. The shift is subtle but unmistakable. Opportunities align without force. Timing accelerates naturally. Movement feels guided, not driven. Some will overlook these moments because they expect spectacle. They wait for signs, not realizing the door already moved. Those aligned step through without announcement. Decisive openings favor those grounded in patience. They arrive after discipline proves consistency. They appear when desire no longer dictates action. This stage transforms effort into ease, not because the path shortens, but because resistance ends. The door does not need to convince. It opens because the moment is right. Quiet authority moves first. Sound follows later. Invisible effort carries the greatest weight. The work no one noticed built the strength now required. Every silent struggle refined judgment. Every private decision trained restraint. Survival itself became qualification. Unseen work strips performance away. It removes the need for validation. Growth that happens in isolation builds integrity. Integrity stabilizes power. That stability is rare, and it cannot be rushed. The nights spent questioning direction strengthened discernment. The moments of doubt forced clarity. Each time progress slowed, patience expanded. These experiences shaped readiness more than success ever could. Qualification does not arrive through applause. It forms through endurance. Pressure applied without recognition reveals true capacity. Those who remain steady under that pressure earn trust. Trust leads to permission. This moment responds to inner resilience. The ability to continue without confirmation proves alignment. That endurance signals reliability. Reliability attracts responsibility. Survival sharpens awareness. It teaches when to move and when to wait. It clarifies intention. It filters distractions. The unseen work eliminated excess. Only purpose remains. Strength gained quietly does not seek attention. It speaks to presence. Confidence formed without praise does not demand acknowledgement. It carries certainty naturally. The process also removed dependency. External approval lost influence. Inner alignment took its place. That shift changed everything. Authority moved inward. This moment recognizes that shift. Qualification was not granted suddenly. It accumulated gradually. Each choice made in silence added weight. Survival refined discipline. Discipline matured judgment. Judgment established readiness. That sequence prepared this arrival. Nothing was wasted. Every delay contributed. Every setback strengthened resolve. The unseen work did not disappear. It integrated. Now movement feels grounded. Decisions feel steady. Progress feels natural. Qualification has already been proven. The moment simply responds. The unseen work did its job. Luck depends on chance. Alignment depends on order. This date speaks order. Events arrange themselves with precision because internal direction matches external timing. Nothing random produces this level of coherence. Alignment removes friction. Actions connect smoothly. Decisions carry weight without force. Progress no longer feels borrowed. It feels earned. That sensation reveals structure, not accident. Luck creates excitement followed by instability. Alignment creates calm followed by consistency. This difference becomes clear on this date. Momentum holds without effort because foundation supports movement. When alignment forms, repetition appears. Signs echo. Patterns confirm. The same message arrives through different channels. This reinforcement is not coincidence. It reflects synchronization. Alignment also explains why effort decreases as results increase. Energy stops leaking into resistance. Focus sharpens. Direction narrows. Each step advances purpose. This date highlights inner order. Thoughts settle. Intent clarifies. Emotion stabilizes. External response mirrors this organization. Circumstances cooperate because conflict dissolves. Luck feels temporary. Alignment feels permanent. One fades quickly, the other builds continuity. This moment confirms which one governs now. People aligned notice timing improve. Meetings happen naturally. Opportunities surface without chase. Assistance appears without request. These are structural responses. Alignment removes urgency. There is no need to rush. Progress arrives when readiness exists. Movement remains steady because fear no longer dictates pace. This date also reveals boundaries. Some paths close firmly, others open clearly. This is not loss. It is refinement. Alignment simplifies choices by eliminating excess. Luck excites the ego. Alignment strengthens the core. The difference shapes outcome. This confirmation brings responsibility. Choices matter more. Impact increases. Alignment amplifies consequence. This moment does not surprise. It confirms. Everything arrives in sequence. Preparation led to permission. Silence led to clarity. Endurance led to alignment. Nothing random stands here. Congratulations is not empty praise. It carries power. It signals a shift in authority. Resistance that once blocked progress no longer holds influence. Wars that delayed movement crumble quietly. Opposition loses its voice because persistence has proven stronger. Every struggle that seemed endless, every obstacle that felt immovable, every challenge that tested faith, all of it is now irrelevant. Resistance spoke loudly before, demanding attention, draining energy, creating doubt. Today it has no standing. Its authority ends because endurance prevailed. That is what congratulations represents. victory recognized by the universe itself. Being acknowledged by God is more than a moment of honor. It is a spiritual alignment confirmed. It signifies that unseen work, internal discipline, and faithful persistence have synchronized perfectly with divine timing. It is the universe affirming that the path taken, no matter how hidden or difficult, was correct. This acknowledgement carries both recognition and responsibility. Recognition affirms that resistance lost control. Responsibility reminds that power now rests in capable hands. What was earned in silence now moves openly. Decisions and actions matter more because authority has shifted. Spiritually, congratulations signals approval of character, not circumstances. It validates choices made with integrity rather than convenience. It confirms inner growth over external validation. The acknowledgement resonates deep within, creating a calm certainty that no noise, distraction, or opposition can shake. When God says congratulations, it is not temporary, it is foundational. It rewrites the rules of engagement with the world. Resistance may attempt to return, but it cannot regain influence because alignment has permanently reshaped the vessel it once confronted. This moment transforms perception. Life feels lighter yet empowered. Challenges are seen as opportunities rather than threats. Inner strength no longer negotiates with fear or doubt. The spiritual endorsement confirms a new standard. Authority now rests where faith, discipline, and endurance have placed it. The past no longer commands. Resistance has lost. Recognition affirms power, readiness, and divine trust. Peace and discomfort are both signals, not coincidences. The same moment affects people differently because it reflects internal alignment, not external circumstance. Those who feel peace have already synchronized with what is coming. Their energy moves in harmony with the shift. Calm arises because resistance has no foothold. Discomfort, on the other hand, is not failure. It is recognition of misalignment. When the spirit senses change but the mind resists, tension appears. The world does not change around you. Your readiness is revealed. Discomfort highlights areas still bound by fear, doubt, or unexamined expectation. It is an invitation to adjust, not a punishment. Peace is subtle. It does not boast or rush. It whispers, "You are ready." It is the quiet confidence that inner work has reached completion. Those who feel it understand the shift intuitively. Their steps feel natural, and obstacles appear smaller because alignment strengthens clarity. Discomfort is equally instructive. It signals awareness. It awakens focus. It forces introspection. Those who feel unease must confront internal blocks before moving forward. The sensation is necessary because unexamined resistance can derail progress if ignored. Both reactions are signs of divine orchestration. Neither is random. Both point to the same truth. The moment of confirmation has arrived. Peace shows preparedness. Discomfort shows areas needing attention. Both guide toward balance. Energy responds differently in every vessel. Timing respects readiness, not expectation. The universe does not favor emotion. It favors alignment. Observing your response reveals your position within the current flow. Understanding this difference allows action without confusion. Peace becomes a confirmation of trust. Discomfort becomes a prompt for adjustment. Neither invalidates the other. Together they map the terrain of inner readiness. This duality proves that recognition has arrived. It does not depend on sensation alone. It depends on alignment. Every feeling, calm or tension, is a sign that the unseen process is now visible and the spiritual moment is fully present. January 4th does not start journeys. It closes them. It seals cycles that have been quietly completing beneath the surface. Effort, endurance, and unseen work culminate in this moment. Recognition arrives not at the beginning, but at the apex of what has already been accomplished. Cycles carry lessons. They carry preparation. They carry discipline. Each cycle builds unseen structure, strengthens character, and aligns intention. This day confirms the completion of those cycles, transforming past struggle into present authority. What was hidden now surfaces. What was tested now proves true. Sealing a cycle is not passive, it is decisive. It signals that lessons have been integrated. Resistance no longer holds sway. Doubt no longer delays. The past steps aside naturally, leaving space for the next phase to unfold. This is why January 4th feels weighty yet clear. The energy is concentrated. It confirms that what was meant to end has ended. Cycles also dictate timing. Beginnings require preparation. Growth requires patience. Completion requires endurance. Only when all three converge can recognition arrive. This day exists to mark that convergence, not to create it. It rewards alignment, not impulse. The sealing of a cycle also reveals clarity. Confusion dissipates. Priorities become obvious. Energy flows where it matters most. Opportunities that were once hidden emerge naturally. What was chaotic gains structure. What was uncertain gains certainty. Understanding this principle removes fear of change. Endings are not loss. They are transformation. What closes on this day clears space for what is meant to continue. The cycle itself guarantees readiness for the next phase, even if that phase has not yet been revealed. January 4th honors completion, not commencement. It rewards the invisible work done in silence. It confirms that the past has been handled correctly, that preparation has matured into readiness, and that the vessel is now capable of holding what comes next. When heaven agrees with endurance, everything shifts quietly but profoundly. The struggle that once weighed heavily now feels lighter. Obstacles that once blocked the path dissolve without effort. The energy you invested in patience and persistence begins to return multiplied. Agreement from above does not announce itself with fanfare. It moves strategically. Opportunities align as if the universe itself recognizes your readiness. Doors that seemed locked respond instantly. Guidance appears in forms both subtle and undeniable. Timing flows naturally and resistance no longer dictates pace. Endurance validates trust. Heaven does not acknowledge fleeting effort or half-hearted attempts. It responds to those who remained steady when no one watched, who continued when doubt screamed, who preserved focus through confusion. That unseen work becomes the credential that opens new realms. When divine alignment occurs, results no longer feel random. The world seems to adjust itself in response to your presence. Decisions become easier. Paths become clear. Assistance arrives without request. Situations that once required struggle now move effortlessly. Everything feels orchestrated. This agreement also carries responsibility. Heaven entrusts more to those who endure. The energy you now possess must be managed with care. Intent becomes more potent. Actions shape outcomes faster. Every choice carries amplified consequence. Spiritually, this moment is affirmation. It confirms that persistence was not wasted. It validates patience. It acknowledges the inner battles that forged strength. The blessing is not only reward, it is recognition that the vessel is now capable of greater responsibility and influence. When heaven agrees with endurance, life flows with precision. Resistance loses voice. Clarity replaces confusion. Momentum builds naturally. Every step forward honors the invisible work done in silence. The universe itself now mirrors the alignment achieved within, confirming that readiness and perseverance have finally met divine acknowledgement. Doubt often arrives when confirmation is near. It is not a sign of failure. It is a final test of alignment. The mind resists change because it fears the unknown. Even when endurance has proven itself, uncertainty tries to reclaim control. That is why right before acknowledgement, hesitation surfaces. Doubt speaks loudly because it senses its authority is ending. It attempts to stall momentum, but those who endured quietly, steadily, and faithfully recognize it as a signal, not a threat. This is the last moment for choice to remain anchored in alignment or to yield to fear one last time. Confirmation does not arrive for those swayed by every flicker of uncertainty. It arrives for those whose persistence has already proven stronger than doubt. That is why the feeling of tension often precedes the blessing. Resistance tries one final test, and endurance meets it silently, without reaction. When divine congratulations finally comes, it carries weight beyond recognition. It grants authority. it bestows responsibility. Approval from the universe does not remove expectation, it amplifies it. The energy you receive is not for indulgence, it is for action, influence, and alignment with higher purpose. This responsibility demands awareness. Every decision now carries amplified consequence. Every movement shapes outcomes more directly. Integrity must govern choices, because trust has been confirmed, and trust requires accountability. The moment of congratulations is not passive, it is active. It asks that the vessel, shaped by endurance, refined by silence, prepared through struggle, now step fully into the role it has earned. The inner work that was unseen now directs outer impact. Doubt fades because recognition has authority. Resistance loses its voice because alignment is complete. The responsibility granted ensures that blessings do not remain idle. Divine congratulations marks both achievement and expectation, confirming that endurance has been honored and readiness is now absolute. This January 4th is more than a date, it is a declaration. Every struggle you endured, every moment of patience, every silent choice has led to this recognition. The unseen work has been honored. Resistance has lost its voice, and alignment has been confirmed. This is your moment of divine acknowledgement. Receive it fully. Step into it with clarity and purpose. Carry the responsibility that comes with this blessing. Let your actions reflect the endurance that brought you here. Trust the timing. Trust your readiness. Trust yourself. If this message resonates, show your commitment, like this video, and subscribe to Shaolin Divine Flow. Join a community that honors discipline, alignment, and spiritual clarity. Let us walk this path together, guided by insight and purpose. Remember this always: what was completed in silence now shapes the world. Recognition has arrived, and your life will never move the same way again. Stand firm. Step forward. The universe is responding to the strength you built quietly, and your journey of true alignment has only just begun.